Comedy Night at the Gallery is back. Gem City Comedy is proud to return to Gathered by Ghostlight inside the Dayton Arcade with local headliner Brent Bowser. Tickets are on sale now at gemcitycomedy.com. Welcome to the show, Luke Capasso.
Hey.
Good to have you on, man.
Thanks for having me.
I did not frame up his shot even one bit before we did this, and he looks so tiny right now.
That's why I sit up, so the gut isn't... When I sit back, it's just like I look like a slob.
Well,
dude, there was this...
You don't have the problem of being big dudes.
There was this AI picture of Netflix and Chili. Like an AI generated, and I was so mad because there's just a dude sitting watching Netflix in a giant bowl of chili the size of his living room, but he looked so much like me, and I was just like, this is unsettling.
Yeah.
You're like, why'd they use me?
Right. And then I went and got his haircut today, too.
You did, yes.
Same guy's haircut.
Because he looks so much like you, you're like, that haircut looks nice on me.
I need to be one with
and then you fill the bathtub up with chili.
Oh man, yeah, Luke, good to have you on, man. We were talking a little bit off mic. You know, you've been having a lot of fun with stuff on TikTok and Reels and all that with your handyman videos and all that. But what some folks might not know is you're also a stand-up comic from around these parts here in the Miami Valley.
True,
for a bit. So,
yes.
So wanted to get you on, talk to you, and let our tens of listeners get to know you too.
What's up, tens of listeners?
Just hang out with you.
Yeah.
What inspired doing the handyman videos?
I'm already doing handyman stuff, so I just started video and shit, and then, I mean, I've been doing I used to do long form YouTube how-to videos on occasion, and then actually, my wife got me into doing TikTok. I thought TikToks were perverts to watch teenage girls dance, and but then I just started.
That's the essence of it.
Yeah, things can have two uses.
And then I started trying to cram them down shorter and shorter, and then I'm already doing the job, so I just set my camera up, and then I just clip it down, try to get it to 3-4 minutes, and explain the whole job, and yeah.
And then you also, but another thing, you just in general with the creating the short content though, you've really hit a stride with that. You know, with the animal podcast animations.
That's another weird thing. On Instagram, yes, nowhere else.
Nowhere else does that work.
No,
really,
it doesn't do jack shit on. A couple of them did okay on TikTok, sure.
Really?
But yeah, Instagram, that's where they live.
Yeah. It's the weirdest things do on different platforms. Stand up on YouTube Shorts will always crush.
I feel like if it's crowd work. Yeah. Yeah. But I've never put it. I've had a couple do okay, but it's
well, I mean, when I say crush, I mean they'll do better than you're guaranteed to get at least 1,000, and you're gonna farm subs off anything stand up. Yeah,
typical local comic emphasizing what the word crush means.
1,000. Yeah, I had to scale back, guys. We are in a basement.
Yeah. But whatever your crush is, keep that as your crush.
Yeah. Taking the wins where I can get them, man.
Yeah.
Stop pissing in my Cheerios.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, just from trends I've seen with work, just from doing it so long, it's certain things do well on Instagram, certain things do well on TikTok, certain things do well on Shorts, and it's
well, I say construction stuff is always, because people This Old House or the old Yankee Workshop where just a dude working, and then people like to watch someone's hands doing something, making something. So then if you just talking bullshit on top of it, it's you get the satisfaction of watching a whole project done in 3 minutes without having to leave your couch. So I think it does something for people more than my other content would. So.
I know nothing about fixing stuff. I'm not at all a handyman myself, but when I watch your videos, it's genuinely entertaining. I enjoy it. The mixture of you fixing stuff or building stuff or whatever, but then also the commentary behind it being witty and poetic in some cases in an intelligent comedic kind of way.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, there's I think the best way to sometimes get people to learn is to make them do it by accident.
Yeah,
Is to entertain
that's
them,
100%.
Yeah.
That's I try to be where it's 80% bullshit, 20% information. Because if you're the other way, people's brain turns off. Like you kind of trick them into, learning something. Really,
I've been sitting with that mentality lately, just with life in general. Like I feel like humans in general are when you look at how there's the different kinds of learning, are you the kind of person who likes to learn by being talked to? Do you learn by doing? Or I think humans in general are a learn by doing species. We need to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
In a way, we can't be told something's going to not work. We have to stick the penny in the light socket.
Yeah.
Heroin.
Sound like it worked.
They told me my whole life. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done it successfully. And I was like, I can do it successfully.
I'm gonna beat it.
We had a cop come to our school for like a once a week for like 6 months. There was a lion involved.
Dude, the dare cop that came to our elementary school, he was at my fucking arraignment. He was like on duty at my arraignment.
He's like, you failed, sir.
He was still super nice. He was like, I remember you. You were a good kid. I'm like, you said word.
You said word.
Yeah. Also, officer, if you'd have gave that speech better, maybe I wouldn't be here.
This is really a reflection on you, dude.
Yeah.
I used to, because my dare officer was such a goofball. I used to always, because he'd still, be there, but he'd have his gun on his hip, and I'm like,
yeah.
I can't picture you kicking down a door and arresting somebody while you're sitting here like making balloon animals and explaining why drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the only remember from Dare was like they made them all sound great, really. Like they're like, people on PCP think they can fly, and I'm like, that sounds awesome, dude. Like
I used to always say like the marijuana commercial of the deflated body on the couch, and they're like, yeah, she tried marijuana. Now all she does is just sit around on the couch like that all the time. And I'm like, fucking goals,
she
dude.
looks comfortable, dude. She looks relaxed.
She's okay with that.
Yeah.
You can help us grow our channel, upgrade our gear, and eventually hire an editor by joining our Patreon for only $5 a month. Go to patreon.com/the3mics or follow the link in the description. Where did the comedy thing originate with you?
I don't know if one came. I mean, I guess, I've been doing construction before stand-up, but I started stand-up in, I don't even too long ago, maybe 12 years ago, 15. I don't know at this point. But I started in the UK. I was in the UK for a while, and I just kind of started going to some mics, met some people, went to some other mics, and then kind of snowballed from there, really.
Because you were in the military? Was that why you were over there?
No, I was in the military, but I was married to my first wife, and because I was in the military, she got a job with the government, like a spouse preference job. And then she got offered this job in London after I was out of the Air Force. And I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And then so she was working over there, and I just used my GI Bill, and I was going to college over there and doing stand-up at night. So
what was the the trigger moment, like the thing that really made you go like, yeah, this is something I want to try? Like what was there a moment?
I will say, before, when I got out of the Air Force, and I was living in D.C., and I was working as a superintendent for this big general contractor, and I was too young for that job. Most people doing that job are like in their 40s and 50s, and I'm 25, right?
Jesus.
And but the only way you get like a bunch of like crusty old iron workers to listen to you is I used to come in and like I'd make fun of them, I'd like roast somebody and do some, and just like no one ever like, oh, you're great at your job, but they're always like, you're fucking funny, dude, you should do stand up. And I'm like, oh, whatever. But then when we went to London first, we were in this tiny flat, and wife and kids went to bed at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I'm just sitting there. First I was drinking by myself for a while. Oof. And then I got this Time Out magazine, and it had like open mic, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'm up anyway. So I went to one, and I just watched it, and I was like, this is pretty grim. It was open mic. I'm like, I can at least do that.
Yeah.
So I wrote some jokes, came back, and again, met some people. They're like, you should come to the one tomorrow, and then went to another one. By then, I was going like, I immediately went from like barely doing it to at least 5-6 nights a week. So,
Jesus.
Do you remember the topic of your very first joke that you tried?
Yeah, I got it on a recording. It's on like a. It's got a tiny tape in it. I wouldn't call it a real cassette, but basically kid stuff and a couple generic. I'm an American over here kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. No. But it felt good. It felt like I did. I felt like I killed it on my first one, and then the next couple were terrible after that. But I think that's normally the way the process is. But
yeah, we've been, as we've been talking to people every week, Evander especially has noticed, it's like, everyone we've talked to, it's like, the reason they did it is they saw somebody else do it
badly.
Yeah.
And they were like,
I can do that.
Shit, I can do that.
Yeah, I can at least. That's what I thought. I was like, I at least won't be remembered compared to these other people. You know,
I just got to not be the worst one there.
Yeah.
Because that's where you got exposed, like the Edinburgh Festival and that.
Yeah, I went. Yeah, actually, I went the first year I did stand up. Went up to it, and then went every year I was over there. I think 6, 7 of them. I think. But but like they got the Edinburgh festivals, like the Brighton Festival.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of little fringe festivals like that.
Brighton
Fringe.
Brighton that is something like as a metalhead, you hear about Brighton all the time. Like anytime you hear about like a band booking something at Brighton, your first thought is like, oh, were they recording a DVD or an album or like a live album there? Because like that's Brighton's choice for stuff like that. Yeah. So that's really cool, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like looking back, it's an awesome experience to get to live there, and it's especially like to do stand up there because London in general, you have the Tube, you have whatever, and you could hit 2 mics a night, and they weren't like here. You're used to a mic with just the comics there.
Yeah.
If they had a mic like that, they just wouldn't have it. Like there was always like human beings that are. Because it's pubs and it's pub culture, so they have a separate function room. The bar's not in the room, and usually, even like a Monday night, you at least have like 8 to 20 regular, normal human beings.
So they had standards for comedy open mics.
They had
like if you want service, you have to go watch the show.
Yeah. So you have it's like
people that are just going to be there anyway.
Yeah, the first few mics when I came back, and I was like, I might quit. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. What is this? But yeah.
It's like going on a series of awful like first dates back to back to back.
Yeah,
it's just awful.
How long into living overseas did you get into it? You said you were there for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I probably like a week, 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was pretty soon after I got there.
So were you like doing like the local like showcases and stuff, and like how'd you progressed?
Oh, by the time I got out there, I was doing I was doing the clubs. Like actually, not to sound fancy, but I got a couple TV credits there.
Oh yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I was doing. I think.
Where's the clip of? Well, I've always wanted to know where this was from. It had to have been overseas because you looked,
like a baby.
You looked very young.
Yeah.
The chick dumping the.
Oh,
thing
that
on your
was
head.
Actually that place was cool, but I was only like 5-6 months in, maybe, when that.
Damn,
happened.
really?
Yeah, but this place was cool. Like the basement might have been maybe it's as wide as this, but maybe twice as long, right? Oof. It was called the Toriano, and it was like, this is like Amy Winehouse, Camden country. Like Peter Doherty, drink ups, like it was disgusting bar, but it was cool. It had a cool vibe to it.
I'm picturing, I don't know if you ever saw like Marvel's Mrs. Maisel on Prime.
I'm
picturing places like that in my head. Yeah.
It was like a grimier version of that.
Okay.
And the lady who ran it was kind of sweet on me. And so I think she had me be like the regular host over there. And hosting over there is different than here. Like it's mainly like crowd work, and like you still do like little bits between like you and you're hosting over there. It's like you're hosting a party. So like you're the actual host of the event. So you're
like emceeing.
You're emceeing the thing. Yeah.
You're not just bringing them up and taking them down. You're you're in charge of running the show. Yeah. See, that's the kind of hosting I miss. That's the kind of hosting I like.
Yeah, that's like that was a big culture shock coming back. Actually, like the way shows are structured and run is different. But anyway, I was there. I was pretty new going in there, and I would write a bit. So even I was like, man, if I knew I was going to get like 10 million views off that thing, I would have wrote a better beginning. But also, it's like I'm doing jokes about Donald Trump when he was still on The Apprentice. So now people watch it and they're like, it's a different. I think it's like it didn't age like you thought it would.
You have to put a timestamp on the videos that people know.
So whenever somebody uses the word Trump card nowadays, it's like, it hits the ears a little differently.
This because I was like, because I had these party poppers and bullshit. I was like, we'll do a big Donald Trump style intro with all this shit. And like, now that means something different now.
Comedy Night at the Gallery is back. Gem City Comedy is proud to return to Gather by Ghostlight inside the Dayton Arcade with local headliner Brent Bowser. Tickets are on sale now at gemcitycomedy.com. So Fuse Fest has been kind of your big thing ever since, in the last few years. You've been, I don't want to say figuring out as you go, but like that's been kind of your baby in development. Kind of, you were inspired. That was what you brought back. And what was that first year of like that first initial year of groundswell, like of just like just sparking that interest and all that?
It's all right. I think some people didn't really get it. It was like trying to, because I think usually you could explain it like a million different times, but people just didn't understand what the hell was happening. Because it was like usually like a lot of comedy festivals here are just showcase nights, and somebody books you for a showcase. Mm-hmm. So it's just tons of shows. Whereas like way Edinburgh works is a comic just puts in for a time and a venue, and they get whatever time or venue, and that's your hour. Mm-hmm. So you go into a booklet, but otherwise you have like flyers and you go out on the street and you sell your show and do whatever. You just have that hour for the month. Mm-hmm. And trying to explain because people were like, well, can you book me on that? I'm like, well, it's not my show. And they're like, well, it's like your festival. I'll be like, well, Nate is running that show. So mm-hmm. Nate's already booked. And then even some of like people that I told, they're like, yeah, I want to book a show there. And then they're like, well, who's on this show that I'm running? I'm like, you.
Oh my God, it's not like, that hard of a concept.
You tell me, bitch. Like, I'm like,
that's not that hard of a concept.
And then I'm like, they're like, well, where's the poster for the show? I was like, you give it to me. Like, you make I'll put a little thing on it and with like a QR code, but I'm like, this isn't, what did you not understand when we signed this up? But so, I mean, like I said, it started to, people starting to get it a little more.
Yeah.
Seemed like I thought last year's seemed to have gone pretty well. I went to
some stunk.
A handful of the shows.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you got to work out because I didn't want to put it all in the same places, and sometimes like some places you think are going to be a good venue end up being a great venue, and vice versa. Like I wasn't like the trolley stop fell apart, and I feel bad for some of those acts because it was like. Eventually, they just letting everyone in to drink, and then it was like doing comedy in a bus station. But the first year, Oregon Express was awesome. Like I felt like that was like a.
Did you do it upstairs or in that downstairs?
That little downstairs area right there. Oh, it was and like the
sweet spot.
The staff kept everyone out who didn't have a ticket, and it was jammed all the way.
Because they know how to run a good ship at Oregon Express. They know what they're doing there.
They made 10 times the money they were trying to give me. If it wasn't. In retrospect, probably didn't really matter, but it wasn't for Wiley's being right there. I would have just done a show there once a month, and they were all over it. But but I say it's about learning like what. And I think the other mistake I made is I always wanted to do it where it's like walking distance. You could walk from here, do this and that, but it's like it doesn't matter anyway. This is Dayton. Nobody walks anywhere anyway. So why does it need to be in the same area? Just move it around the whole town. People are going to drive.
People will Uber.
Yeah,
nowadays
people are driving 3 blocks, so it doesn't really matter that it's.
Well, we've got the scooters and the shit now. So people, they'll make their way around.
Yeah.
So. But no, it's been really cool seeing, because I think that in the last few years, and we've been talking about this every week as it's coming on, seeing the way that like the local comedy scene has been just, I don't know, growing and developing in a really unique way, and seeing how like a lot of, especially like a lot of the newer hats that are coming in are seeing Fuse Fest and seeing your vision and being like, fuck yeah, this is something to get excited about. Like we're really into this, and it's great to have, you know, people like, you know, like you and like, you know, like Kevin and everybody who have been given some new life, life to the scene that really need it, man.
Yeah,
I've still got the. So my wife saw it the other day when we were moving stuff around in the apartment. Got that trophy from winning the.
My man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought people were gonna get stabbed this last one, but yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
There was like this. You get a topic. You get what was it, 1 minute or 2 minutes? I forget what it was. It was at Aaron's vintage shop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably didn't deserve the win.
The car crash. But I mean, it's here's the funny thing about it is like, it doesn't matter. Like it's all nonsense. So it's like whoever's louder, like gets more cheers, wins, or or like it, whether me, Aaron, or whatever, just push a button. Like, or if the person holding the sign doesn't like you, they put their sign up and you're out.
It was a shitload of fun.
It gets great. Like it's funnier to me. Like I keep trying to encourage the audience to like yell at them, like tell them like stay on topic, or you're repeating yourself, or this is trash. Be funnier. Like encourage them. And so like as the audience gets crazier, it gets funny. Like it's like it feels like a jousting match with no stakes, but the stakes feel huge. But I won't name his name, but this year he got up to second place, and then he didn't win, and he lost his ever loving mind. So I always tell people you win a car, and they think I'm really giving out. It's a fucking toy car. Like he didn't go to the first one, so he didn't know like handing out Matchbox cars, and I think he thought he was really on the like. Do you see the kind of car I drive? Do you think I'm giving away cars?
That's why you drive the car you drive. So you give them away to other people.
So generous. And then
and he's the guy driving the big blue Cybertruck I see downtown all the fucking time.
Because it had nothing to do with me. It wasn't rigged, but according to what he thought. But my son ended up winning this one just because like he was making fun of me, and everybody in there didn't put the sign up because they were enjoying him yelling at me. So he went through, right?
It's flawless.
Yeah, he didn't have any real subject. He was just getting pissed at me. So he won. That's
what I did, dude. I just talked shit on Luke the whole time, and here I am, the champion.
Yeah. How old's your son?
I don't get into his business like that. No, he's 22.
That's what I was trying to I was like, please tell me this was a kid.
No.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's adultish.
Adultish.
Yeah.
I was not an adult at 22.
No, I'm not an adult now. Legally, but
I had 2 kids at 22. I went from 19 to 40.
Seems like you've just stayed there though.
Pretty much, yeah.
You can help us grow our channel, upgrade our gear, and eventually hire an editor by joining our Patreon for only $5 a month. Go to patreon.com/the3mics or follow the link in the description.
Was it one specific video that like exploded your TikTok? Was it TikTok first or Instagram first?
TikTok way first.
Okay.
All right. Okay. 2 did. 2, maybe 3.
Is one of them the goat fucking video?
Yeah, where I fuck goats. Yeah. It's actually full close up penetration shot. My balls against a goat's balls. I thought
the goat had balls.
Oh yeah, it was a dude. Goat? It was a dude. Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah.
But I mean, it's goats.
Equally as dry, I'm sure.
He was fine. He's cool. That. I'm surprised it didn't get flagged, but I thought it would get flagged for content, but it didn't. No, I actually like most of my followers like legitimately off. Like I had this one that was always a rant I did. I just told my son about like it's like you suck at being poor. Like if you're gonna be and then which got big for the wrong reasons. Like it went that was like a bunch of people be like, "Fuck you, libs." Like, like I was like, "That's not what I meant, dude. I just meant clean your shit up." Is all I meant. And then, but so that's still like for like 3 months, that was like the #1 audio on TikTok was my dumb voice talking poor shaming people, and but then it was like one where I did a bathroom exploded, like it was like 20 million views in like 3 days. So it was like my like my follower count went like up with the poor video, right? And then that one video was like blam, and then like I had a couple, like I did like a walker for Wendy, and but then after that, like it like where I'm at now, like my follower count has not changed on TikTok in basically a year. It goes like down 10, up 10. Like if I don't post a video for like 2 weeks, they start taking your followers away. It's like they're trying to get you, like it's like some weird.
I have noticed that where, creators that I know for a fact that I've clicked follow on, like, months or maybe a year later, all of a sudden, yeah. And then even their videos, I'll notice that it'll say I haven't liked them.
Yeah, it's like they're punishing you for not. Yeah. Yeah, it's
like a point system at work.
Yeah.
Manufacturing job now, you got to fucking punch the clock in, otherwise it's over with.
Yeah, so like I know there's like there's like fake bot accounts that they delete all the time. So I get that when the numbers go away. But then it's like even me, people I had followed, I go and like, why am I unfollowed this person? And then you get to follow them again. I was like, oh, they're being punished too now. They're having their followers taken away. But so that's why they're trying to get people to like post trash every day. If you just post something every day, it'll whatever. But it's like this weird that nobody really understands. Like, let's say I say something in a video that the computer doesn't like. All right. It doesn't matter if it's offensive or whatever. If they construe it that way, my point system goes down and all my views go down. Like it's for a while. Even one, like even the comment section, I said something to like something about my kids being dumb, just as it's clearly a joke conversation between people, and I get a notification, you can't call someone dumb, it's bullying and harassment, and then I appeal it and they're like, nope, you're bad. I got in trouble for what I was doing a dollhouse video and I was making these two dolls have sex with each other. And I got a sexual content violation, and I couldn't post for 3 days, and then all my videos for a while didn't do shit. So
that makes me so angry because like that's what I'm gonna laugh at. That's what I enjoy is dolls fucking each other. And
it feels like I'm in like a Black Mirror Twilight Zone episode where you have a robot police officer which you can't reason with, and it doesn't matter what you say or do or they run everything, and that's how it is. But and then the next video you go on and you could see a lady's butthole, like, but that's fine. Like I'm like, all right, my doll's having sex. That was too far. We went too far with that. Yeah,
dolls didn't even have nipples.
Yeah, they were fully clothed. They had their clothes on. They were dry humping. They were married even, so it wasn't like they were out of wedlock. So I feel like it should have been fine. It was a beautiful act, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so I'd say most of the followers are all off a handful, and for someone who's been posting for like on that app for almost 2.5, 3 years now. So
because it felt like late 2022 is about when
I'd say that. Yeah.
Do you remember just like waking up one day and just being like, "What the fuck happened? Why do I have a million?"
Oh, TikTok, it's crazy when it first, because when I first started doing, I was just clipping up old YouTube videos, putting little stupid shit on there. And then, like I said, the poor one was weird because it was like people are like stitching me, and like it'd be like people that are like 21, 22, like like the young communists on the internet, like this is what the capitalist system makes you do. Like I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, I didn't even say any of those things, but it was like it became like an out of body experience that and people like would message me and call me a piece of shit, and like it
sparked a debate and an argument.
Yeah, the dumbest. People, the full force of how dumb the internet was hit me in the face.
From both ends, I'm sure.
Like, oh, yeah, from both ends. Like I said, I'm getting cheered in the wrong way.
The hell yeah brothers from people who don't understand.
But, yeah. But then it was like, I did one with Ranson doing a bathroom, and it was just, because, and like, I didn't really, that's when I was sort of getting my, like, editing style with it. Because I kept trying to, like, if I get as much information and bullshit out, say it as quickly as I can while moving the shots to each thing. I'm trying to get through a whole bathroom. I was like, how do I cram this into 4 minutes? So I was like, I cut all the fat out.
Well, he was still in the video, so.
Yeah, and he was still, yeah. I tried to cut him out of it. So yeah. Yeah, that's how I kind of got the video style, that style of construction video, really. But, which I will say, this is where I big myself up. I do see a lot of other blue collar dudes doing that style of video now. So I'm like a genre. I've created a construction video genre. And
well, even me, like I know nothing about construction, but just the concept of a video of somebody doing stuff while having like really, because it's high quality. I know that you use like an actual like studio microphone to record your voice saying all that stuff.
But honestly, like, all right, what I will say is when you go to do yours, I'll say what's nice about it is I use Adobe Premiere, so I can lay all the clips out on this timeline, and I got a nice microphone that records straight into the program. So if I'm telling a story like over here, I had to go do this and do that, but then if I'm like I can actually cut out all the and pieces. So I'll go and I can move, like maybe I should put this section over here, what I'm saying this here, or so so there's no it's just me alone in my office with the video in front of me. And sometimes I'll move the video to better click with what the punchline is. So it's like a 2-part. That part I enjoy that almost more than stand up now. It's like it feels like you're kind of playing a video game, but also you're almost directing the movie as you're making it.
Okay.
It's like you have this stew of clips. And you're like, what? And then then you get to sit down and you're like, how am I going to tell this story? Am I going to do it like this? Am I going to do it with this visual? And then same thing like with what I mean, you'll see if, like I say, you want to record your thing and come over, I'll show you how to do it. But it's really like, it's pretty straightforward. You talk and then you're like, I don't even like any of that, delete. And then, or like it's got this little tool and you cut up, you'll see the waveform of your audio. So you can just cut it and cut out the blank spots. Move it around and yeah.
So it's not like, do you ever like write it out? Like do you type out
not
what
really,
is it you're gonna say, or is that mostly?
Yeah, mostly it's like even as I'm doing the job, I'll think of something funny about the dumb thing I'm doing, but it's not because you're writing in your there's nobody in there to whatever. So it's like you get to keep watching your own setback, and you're like. When you listen to your set on the way from a show, be like, I fucked this joke up. I should have said this there.
Yeah.
You're doing it, and you get to do that in real time. So you get to move it around. And so it's like I'm writing it. Even like most time you hear the voiceover, that's not usually my first go through with a video. Usually I'll do it a couple times, or I'll sit with it, and I'll just do all that different. So like I can do a video, like now it's like, I can do a 5-minute video in an hour and a half.
Hell yeah.
So
it probably is a lot of just like practicing and like
I've learned a lot.
There's like the fluid movement of it all from start to finish.
It's once
even with recording like what you're doing, like the video of what you're doing. I'm sure it's just come naturally and became easier. Yeah,
you kind of like, well, this will be visually interesting. This part is important to the narrative or whatever. And sometimes. Especially I'll be doing a project and I'll miss something. Then I'll just voice it over something else, be like, I didn't film it because fuck you. And then like or I didn't film it, or imagine it, how great that part was. Like you just find ways to just bullshit through it. So.
I love the idea of creatively hiding whatever.
Where the fuck did he come from?
I love the idea of
pops up like toast from behind the desk.
Comedy Night at the Gallery is back. Gem City Comedy is proud to return to Gather by Ghostlight inside the Dayton Arcade with local headliner Brent Bowser. Tickets are on sale now at gemcitycomedy.com. It's a hard minefield to walk, but you walk it well. It's also you give opportunities to local comics to be a part of it as well, and that's huge. It's always great when people share the love. Yeah. So it's noticed and it's appreciated. And
thank you.
If you haven't heard it, you're hearing it here, man.
Yeah.
It's part of the show where we jerk off our guests.
So. Oh, all right.
Quick message for the listeners before we leave here.
Yeah.
All 12 of you.
Yeah.
If you're a local comic and you ever go into a night where like you just have this miraculously stupid idea to like send a message to a respected peer and be like, hey, I think we should collab on this thing that will benefit you in absolutely no way, but will benefit me tremendously. Don't hit send on that message.
No, you
no
should
context for
send.
anybody else.
Hit send on that message. Do you feel,
just ask for help?
Do you feel like you should? Yeah. Don't think I didn't. You'd be surprised. All right, this is to make you feel better. That's the vast majority of ways somebody asks for help with something is exactly the way you did. Is to be like, hey, I have people that are like, hey, if you're around, I'm like redoing my kitchen. Maybe like, bitch, you think I just like screwing shit together? Like you think I'm doing this for fun? Like,
I'm not your grandpa, okay?
Yeah, I'm not excited. If you need help, sure, but
I'm not 70 and retired.
Yeah, but but especially video wise, I get what you're saying, but no, I appreciate that more. I've had a few people that wanted me to collab and be a part of their video, but the truth is they really only did it because they wanted to actually click collab on the thing, so that because I have more followers than them.
Yeah, they wanted to share in the audience.
Yeah, you didn't want it. You didn't have fucking shit. Fuck, I'll do with me. I was like, at least you just want help with something. That's honest, not like.
Yeah, you don't want exposure from my 32 followers.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Yeah, no shit.
Numbers and numbers, baby. I'll take them. I build it one brick at a time. But honestly, I would be more than. I don't know if this is still a podcast conversation or not, but I say I'm more than happy. I've offered that to almost every comic all the time, everywhere. Like, if you wanted me to show you how to make a video, I will do it. And in 5 years of being here, no one has ever taken me up on it. And so, but they're just like, I'll get a lot, and people be like, hey, I got an idea for a video. I'd be like, you don't have an idea for a video. You just want me to follow you around and then edit it for you and send it to you. And I was like, I can really, like, honestly, if I learned, I'm not computer savvy, and I mean that, but I was like, if I could learn how to like use these programs, usually I go to YouTube and it's I'm like, how do I do this? And a 12-year-old's like, well, press control, Apple, and I'm like, and I'm doing it. And I've got it down to where I'm like, I don't get out of my world of what I know how to do on that app. And it looks like I'm doing special effects and all that kind of shit. Like, the ease of that, once you learn a little trick, like,
dude, that van taking off.
Yeah, people are like, how do you do it? It's like, how do you not know how to do it? Just a Photoshop file, control effects. Like I said, I just YouTubed it, and it's literally, it's easier than shit. Like, it's
when I first
how do I
started,
make my work van look like it's a rocket ship taking off from the ground into space?
YouTube,
There's
YouTube. How does but that's, I mean, it's actually flying. That's why it's so easy. But
it helps if you just have a van that flies.
A van that can fly, so then you don't have to worry about it.
That's what when I was first showing him some stuff with video editing, it was like, yeah, once you learn like the shortcuts,
you have to learn what things are called.
Yeah,
once you can't YouTube something that you have no idea. It's hard to get around to, because for the longest time, even the van taking off thing, I always wanted to do animations with like, just like Monty Python, just the jaw moving. So, but honestly, I got to the point where I'm like, Monty Python animating, and then they just sort of showed me some things that got me to using like the effects, the control effects tab in Premiere. And after you figure out how to use keyframes, it just kind of...
Keyframe is the magic word. 9 times out of 10, when you're asking how do I do something in video editing, it's probably something with keyframing.
That looks like a weird special effect. Keyframe.
Yes. He is. You made a note, didn't you?
But I'm saying, I'll give you, you want to come over, you get your clips, I'll give you a free whatever long tutorial. And if I'm doing something in the house, I'll be fucking doing my tile in the bathroom, and then you're like, oh, I'm lost. And I'll come in there and I'll help you out. But I've offered that service
Yeah.
to countless people, and no one's ever taken me up on it.
There's you, me, a slew of people have always have this long-standing invitation. Just remember, guys, everybody needs help.
Yeah.
Just gotta ask. Just free.
Yeah.
There's free resources available. Just okay. Don't ask. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, you hear somebody bitching about it, and it's like, well, that sucks, man.
Yeah, tough. That's bad. It's a rough one.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
I am certain it's a masculinity kind of thing. I'm like, I don't want this fucking free help. I'm gonna figure it out by myself, or I'm not gonna fucking do it at all.
Or they think, he figured it out. How hard could it be? And then they find out, well, there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Takes more than one attempt.
Yeah.
But I learned by fucking around.
Yeah, same.
Like I didn't learn. I went to school. I went to school to learn how to do it like professionally. I learned how to do it by downloading free software and fucking around until something worked, and then repeating it over and over again. It's how you do a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
So, it's how you do comedy. Well, Luke, thanks for coming on the show, man.
All right,
Appreciate
you got
it,
it.
bud.
Yeah, my pleasure.